Hi everyone, it's Julianne here and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm participating in the Paper Crafters Unite Against Racism Instagram Hop, where myself and a bunch of other crafters are spreading some much needed love over on Instagram. This is the card that I created for the hop today, and I wanted to share it with you all today on my channel, just in case you aren't on Instagram. So let's get started. For my card today, I did use the brand new Pals Stamp and Die set from Honeybee Stamps in order to create this slimline scene. Now I'm going to start out my card today by first placing my slimline panel, which is a sheet of expressive blending cardstock, inside of my MISTI, and I'm going to be stamping the Gal Pals image in the center of that panel using some Memento Tuxedo black ink. Once I have a really nice black outline, I'm then going to also stamp that onto a sheet of Eclipse masking paper, and using a pair of scissors, I'm going to fussy cut out that image right along that outline. Now I have made quite a few scene cards here on my channel. They are one of my favorite cards to create. So in case you haven't seen any of my previous videos, the first step in creating a scene card is you need to decide what images you want to look as though they're in the front of your scene versus the images that you want to look as though they're in the back. The images that you want in the front are the ones that you are going to stamp first on your background panel. So even though I am using the same stamp set for my entire card, those first two girls are going to look as though they are in the front. So once I have masked off that first image using that masking paper, I'm then going to reposition my panel to where it's hanging out of my MISTI just a little bit, and I'm going to be stamping that image again. Now it is definitely going to look like a hot mess since I am stamping directly over the masking paper, but what is actually happening is I'm stamping the image onto my panel in the open area that's not masked off, but the area that is masked off isn't getting stamped, which that is what's going to make it look as though the image that I'm stamping right now is behind the first image that I stamped. Now once I get that second image all stamped out, again I'm going to mask that off and I'm going to stamp on the other side of my background panel the same way as I did before. And now for each time I am stamping, you're going to notice that I am stamping the image quite a few times just to make sure that I get a really nice black solid outline. Now that I have all three of my images stamped out, I'm going to keep those three masks still down on my panel, and then I'm going to create my background, which I'm going to be doing some ink blending using two Pinkfresh Studio inks, and those are the colors Coral Reef as well as Passion Fruit. I'm going to add down my base color first, which is going to be the Coral Reef, and I'm going to be adding that to that top open area. I'll then go over that area a few times to get a nice blend, but I want that color to be pretty light. Next, I'm going to be taking the larger hearts from the Fluttering Heart Stencil set from Honeybee Stamps, and I'm going to be ink blending those hearts in that open area as well, but this time I'm going to be using the Passion Fruit ink. And again, I'm not going to be using a lot of ink. I just want those hearts to just be a little bit darker than that base color. Since this is a slimline card, I will have to reposition that stencil in order to cover the entire panel, but once I have both of those sides ink blended, I'll then come back in with that Coral Reef in order to blend over that entire area again. With all of my ink blending complete, the next part is my favorite part when it comes to scene building, and that's where I finally get to remove each one of those masks to reveal the scene that I've created. If you have never tried scene building with your stamps, I definitely encourage you to give it a go. This is honestly the best part about creating a scene like this. I'm now going to start working on my coloring. Now this definitely took the most time out of my card, and I have tried to include most of it in this video. I didn't include the coloring of their outfits, but I did keep in all of the coloring so that you could see how I colored in each one of the shades of skin, as well as the different colors of hair, since I did create this card to really show the beauty in all of us, no matter what our ethnicity may be. Now, if you're interested in any of the colors that I'm using today, I will make sure to have all of my marker caps off to the side as I color. If you aren't interested in the color, please feel free to skip forward to the 12-minute mark of this video. With all of my coloring done, I have added some foam adhesive behind my background panel, and I'm going to be adhering that down to my slimline card base, which I have trimmed and scored out of some black colored cardstock. Once I have that all adhered, off camera I used the Pickup Lines sentiment stamp set from Honeybee Stamps, and I stamped and white heat embossed the sentiment that reads, "Special delivery just for you," onto some more black cardstock. And I'm going to be adhering that sentiment down to the bottom center of my card panel. And for an added smaller sentiment, I have used one of Simon's sentiment strips, and I've adhered that directly underneath my die cut sentiment. Now finally, to finish off my card, I am just going to be adhering one white clay heart to the end of my sentiment. I really just didn't want to add any other sequins. So once I have that all adhered, that's going to complete my card that I created for the Paper Crafters Unite Against Racism Instagram Hop. I hope that you've enjoyed this card and that it will inspire you to reach out of your comfort zone when it comes to your coloring. If you did like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up down below, as well as subscribe to my channel for even more card making ideas. If you're interested in any of the supplies I used today, I will have all of those listed and linked down below in the description box. And as always, I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time, and happy crafting!